Hello and welcome. It's a good day to be on the farm. This is Chuck and I'm bringing you another video about cows in Farming Simulator 22. In my previous video, Cows and Sheep, oh my, I think is what I called it, I did talked all about grass care and how to make hay, how to make silage, how to feed your cows, how to buy cows and put them in this exact facility here. And at the end of the video, I started to make some TMR, but number one, my video cut off at 60 minutes, and number two, I actually did it incorrectly, so I wanted to come back and clarify and just make a specific to TMR video and kind of show you the update on the cows that I got in that last video. So here are my cows now. We're going to take a quick look in our animal menu here, and I've got the original um, Holstein cows that I purchased that are 25 months old, and I believe I did pay the delivery fee on those. And then you can only hold 6 at a time in the trailer. So I actually think I've made 3 or 4 trips to get these Holsteins 6 at a time that are now 29 months old and deliver those. And you can see the reproduction is at 90%. I think that means we should get a baby cow next month. But over on the right here, you can see productivity 100%, milk. They've got 22,000 liters, so I'm going to talk about milk in this video as well. Straw I showed you in the previous video, but you can just throw a straw bale or two into your feed mixer and that will shred it for you, and you can put it in here, so you don't need to buy a straw shredder unless you want to, or if you're using a loading wagon, you can just dump straight from the loading wagon into here. Either of those two ways are the way I recommend. I don't particularly like the straw shredder, the bale shredder, but that is a way to go as well. And then slurry, we're going to talk about here real quick in a second, but first, down at the bottom under their food, they're starting to run out of food. They only have 6,000 liters left. Zero hay, zero grass. They're 100% productivity because I'm feeding them 100% total mixed ration. So at some point in time, I let that hay and grass that I put in the other video run out, and we kind of went from there. So let me talk about slurry real quick. This is a slurry pit. This large cow barn, which I suggested using, only holds 45 cows, but it only holds 56,500 liters of slurry, and my cows have made more than that. So I ended up adding this slurry pit, which holds, I think, an additional 400,000. Let me just check that since we're here. Under construction, you go to silo extensions, and go over here to this slurry pit. There's this one which holds another 500,000 liters, and this one which holds 2.6 million liters. Didn't need one that big, but got this one, and you just have to place it close enough, and it will tell you if you're not close enough. But the only places I had were pretty much in my field or right here, so I ended up putting it right here, and that was $65,000. But that holds like a 500,000 liters of slurry. So I'm going to use this for fertilizer on this farm eventually, but you had to add that next to this, and it did, as you can see by my animal transport trailer here, it did make the ground a little uneven, but this was the only place I could fit it. And also, I don't recommend parking or putting this side of your cow barn this close to your field. It's made it very hard to get in and out of here, which you'll see in a second. But anyway, let's talk about TMR, because that's what I wanted to make sure we went over here. So I've got my Fendt tractor here, and my mixing wagon is over here behind me. And when you're mixing TMR, total mixed ration, basically it's a combination of hay and silage. So I talked about both hay and silage in my long form hour-long video, so I would check that out if you don't know about hay and silage. We're just going to talk a little bit about mixing here. The mixing wagon can make 22,000 liters of TMR at a time. As you can see, I'm holding 9,000 liters of hay. So we're going to just take this hay, whoops, and drop it in here. Now hay bales I think are 4,500 liters each, and silage is a little bit less. I think silage is 3,500 because it's grass. So we're going to drop those in, and real quick, yep, so it just ground those up for us. So we're going to just take a look here, or excuse me, we're just going to grab our silage from over on this side of the barn. Sorry, making breaking sounds with my mouth is probably not necessary in this video. Alright, so we're going to grab 2 bales of silage. Silage bales are only 4,500 liters, or excuse me, 3,500 liters instead of 4,500, so this is only 7,000 liters of silage. And when you're making total mixed ration, basically it's some combination of hay and silage, and then you could put some filler in, which we're about to do, but you can't have more than 33% filler. So let me show you here by by attaching this mixing trailer to the back of my tractor. It's going to pop up a window, and it's actually up in the left where your controls usually are. I have that turned off for video recording, but let me come back down here and turn it on, the help window. So you can see I've got 56.3% hay and 43.8% silage. And if I look at this, this says this is 16,000 liters of total mixed ration. So I've made total mixed ration. I can feed this to my cows. We're going to do a little bit better and fill this up. So what I can do now is I can add straw to this mixture, but I cannot exceed 33% straw. If you go over a third straw, it turns it into something called forage, and that's really dumb and hard to get rid of. So I actually have some dumped forage in a ditch on this map because I just didn't know what to do to get rid of it. So yeah, you don't want to do that. So I'm going to add 1 bale, and this is 5,000 liters of straw. We're going to drop that in. We're going to go look at our mixture now, and you're going to see that it's still under that threshold. And that's going to save on the silage bales, which are the most expensive. So now I'm 42.9% hay, 33.3% silage, and 23.8%. So basically you have to be over 30% hay, over 30% silage, and under 33% straw, I believe. And you can see those little bars there that help kind of tell you where you're at there. And overall I'm at 21,000 liters or 95% full. Well, my cows are hungry, so let's get to 100%. So that's why I have these pallets right here of mineral feed that you can add to the mixture. And I got myself a little forklift to do this. If I can get it unstuck from the wall here. I find that this is the easiest way to do it if I wasn't stuck. That's embarrassing. Let's just... well, I should have tried to move this first. Anyway, there we go. So you can get these pallets and pick them up at the farm store where you normally buy pallets. I've got 1,050 liters of 100% mineral. So I'm going to put mineral feed in here. So you just lift it up. Oops. All the way up. And you know what? I hadn't tried this out beforehand. I thought I was smart, but my forklift is not tall enough. Well, that's embarrassing. I bought a forklift for this. It was on sale in the farm store, and I thought, well, this is going to be great. But guess what? Didn't work. But we're going to leave that in the video because I make mistakes too. So we're going to go ahead and bring it in here. This is why my pallet forks are sitting here. So we're going to go to the front here, drop off the bale spikes, pick up the pallet forks. Sorry for all of the telehandling and moving around here in the short space in the barn, but that's kind of what feeding your cows is like. You're just going to be lifting things into this mixing wagon basically every day or every other day if you have a full slate of cows like that, as they're making the food. So I'm going to put this over here, and you can see it's taking those bags and it's going to fill me up in there, and hopefully it'll take all of them. And it of course left one 50-liter bag on this pallet. So these pallets I think are 2,000 liters or 2,500 liters or something. So you'd never quite use them all. So you end up with these partial pallets sitting around. Well, regardless, now my pallet fork is stuck. But we're just going to drop that, and we'll mess with that here in a minute. Wow, it's possessed, moving on its own. There we go. Anyway, let's take a look at our mixture real quick. And we should be at a full 22,000 liters. And we are, and you can see that's 4.5% at the bottom is that mineral feed. That's about the max. I think 5% is the max you can put in there of the mineral feed. But all the other percentages are still between those white arrows, so this is still considered total mixed ration. And then you do just what we did in the other video, which is you pull it in here to fill the feed up. So we're going to go ahead and do this, and of course it's dumping on the wrong side, but I have to pull in from this side now because I planted my crops too close to the entrance of the cow barn. So don't be like me and put your cow barn where you can actually drive through this thing completely. I do it when I don't have crops in the field, but since I've had crops in the field lately, I've been having to drive through. So we're going to come in here, turn off that help window because we don't need any more, and we're going to tab up to our cows, and now look, they have green in the total mixed ration at 28,000 liters. So I basically make one of these every day, and sometimes I'll put 2 in and then save the half load for the next day and then put the half load in and go from there. So the only thing that my cows need right now is, you can see that milk bar is still red. So we're going to turn off this tractor and we're going to run out here and show you the milk. So the milk actually loads right here where that icon is, and here's my 8,000 liter milk trailer. And so you basically just get in, got to turn on my tractor, and then I'm going to fill that up, and that'll be 8,000 liters. While that's going, we're going to just look up the price for milk and find where we drop that off. I have, well, 14,000 liters is not correct because it's in the process of filling, but basically the dairy is where I usually sell here, so we're just going to mark that on the map. Go from there. I could get just a little bit more from Johnson's Farmer Market, but that's a little bit farther away. And I just want to show you that the dairy is kind of what you do with the cows and the milk in this game as a production facility, but you don't have to buy the dairy to sell there, which I didn't know in the beginning. I kept selling at the farmer's market because I didn't know I could sell at the dairy if I didn't buy it, and I couldn't afford to buy it originally. So we're just going to drive in town and drop this off at the dairy and show you that you can in fact sell to it without buying it. Now if you do buy it, you can make things like butter and ice cream, maybe not ice cream, cream cheese, I don't know. You can make 3 or 4 different things at the dairy with your milk if you want to buy that production facility and go that route, or if you prefer to just sell the milk directly for a profit, you can certainly do that as well, which is what I'm doing here to make it less confusing for this video. But the cows are now making me slurry, which I have a big pit for, so I'll soon have free fertilizer from that. The milk is obviously a big profit center for these. I'm going to have 2 full loads of milk. And then some, and so I get, you know, not quite 8,000 liters, but somewhere between 4,000 and 6,000 liters a day, depending on how healthy my cows are. And then the cows are also about to reproduce and get me some free cows, which of course won't produce anything till they're 12 months old, but will at least be another option for having to buy those. So cows produce from 12 months to 36 months, and then their production really falls off, as does their value. So if you buy all of your cows originally for you know, $1,200 or whatever, and the delivery fee, you might want to sell some cows that are approaching 36 months, but then you're going to lose the milk production and the slurry production. So look, let's see what we made. We made $10,577 off that load of milk, and we have at least one full load of milk also available in the production facility there. So what I was saying about the cows is, what you want to do is develop a rotation of cows in your facility where you have plenty of cows that are producing milk and slurry, so that are between 12 and 36 months old, but then you also have some cows who are young and growing up that you got for free when the cows reproduced, and then you want to sell some cows that are approaching the 36 months so that you have room for the reproduction to happen to get your free cows from that part of the game. So I would suggest some sort of rotation of 4 to 6 cows every 3 months or so that you sell from the top end, and then that allows reproduction from the cows that you have, and that way you've always got, I don't know, 6 to 9 cows growing up, about 40 cows producing, and then a couple of open slots for those cows to reproduce and make you some free cows, and that way you can continually always be producing from your cattle, your large cattle station like I am. So anyway, that's the 3 things I didn't really get to talk about in my previous video, where I was focused so much on making the hay, making the silage, and feeding the cows that way. So just wanted to make sure you had some clarification on TMR and on milk production and on the slurry and the slurry extension for your cows if you want. Otherwise, everything else I said in the other video still stands, and I think it's a great way to, help out with some additional income on your farm. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this up again, but that's going to be it for now. Thanks for watching. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe for more great content like this, and I'll see you guys in the next one.